I'm Tom Diamond, and I've been a mentor with ICANN Group since 2017. This is now my 4th year. It's been an unusual one. And my talk today is about traveling. So when I was, well, pretty much all my life, really, I was very intimidated by traveling, even though I very much wanted to do it. I would go, I had no idea how people traveled on their own. I was always very impressed by it. Especially large metropolitan areas that we went to, mainly Melbourne. I always wanted to travel by myself, but I had absolutely no idea how to do it. And I would always be with my mom, and she would just seem to know the area like the back of her hand. And I would be like, how do you do this? Because I really and I really wanted to know how to do that by myself so I could travel. I mean, because there were a lot of places that I wanted to go to, but would have had to travel to on my own to actually do that. And during it was a school excursion we went to during year 12. They took us down to Melbourne and taught us how to use the public transport system. And it was after spending a few days doing that I actually started to figure it out and start to memorize the layout of the place. And it was only a year later that I started traveling to Melbourne by myself, often staying several nights. And since then, I've done it more times than I can remember. And it's been very, very beneficial because I've traveled to countless places that I'd always wanted to go to, and in the process found lots of new places as well, and had some very, very amazing experiences. One such experience that's very much a standout is I discovered completely by accident, I discovered a retro cinema in Melbourne called the Astor. It's been there since I think before the 1930s. And I discovered an event. They were holding an event to celebrate the 50th anniversary of 2001: A Space Odyssey, which, see there, is one of my all-time favorite movies. It has been since I was in year 4, so since 2007. And as part of this 50th anniversary event, they were actually having the 2 original actors from the movie 50 years later attending the cinema for talks. And I went and met them, and I had them sign some of my collectibles, including this beautiful treasure, which is a laser disc. You can see their signatures there. There's Keir Delea and Gary Lockwood. This was released for the 25th anniversary, and I had it signed for the 50th. You don't know what these are. These are laser discs. They're kind of a proto-DVD. They never really became more popular than VHS tapes for reasons that should be quite obvious by now. Along with their size, they were also not nearly as capacious as modern DVDs. So even though these are giant, these can't contain nearly as much data as modern DVDs do, to the point where this movie actually comes on, I think, 3 discs. You have to turn them over halfway through each one. So they never really took off. There's me with Keir Delea, and there's Gary Lockwood just in the background there. That's just one standout special experience, and there have been countless others as well, such as one earlier this year where I met the second James Bond. And so the point is that although learning to travel by yourself, especially in large metro areas, it is difficult at first and can be stressful. It is very much worth persevering through and learning, because the benefits are countless. And if you explore, you'll find lots of cool stuff. It's also very confidence building as well when you realize that you can travel independently, go anywhere you want, whenever you want. It's very fun, and you can be sure that I'm going to travel down to Melbourne as soon as it reopens to do more collectible hunting.